guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Joy Rugaruza, and for those who do know me, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some valuable life lessons that I've learned. Last week I turned 22, so yeah, this is just like a couple of I might have to make a part 2 because obviously like we're always learning new things every single day. But yeah, these are just some things that I've managed to collect that have truly helped me with my self-development. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. The first thing that I've learned in my early 20s is to have a personal relationship with God. I know that sounds very like cliche, but it's genuinely necessary for you to like survive out here, to survive here on earth. So I was born in a Christian family, but I would say it's not until like now that I've actually decided to pick up my cross, because I no longer live at home, so I can't rely on my parents to, you know, tell me to read my Bible or to go to church, whatever. So now that it's me, you know, who's gained independence, I've decided to pick up my cross for myself and to actually get to know God. So that has truly helped me in literally all areas of my life. Like it's a journey. There's obviously like a lot that comes with following Christ. It's not just having that Bible verse in your bio, going to church on Sunday. Like there is so much spiritual warfare. There is just so much that obviously I'm trying to even still navigate. I could say like, although like guys, being born in a Christian family is just not enough. It's not until you actually pick up the cross for yourself, and I just feel like I'm a baby Christian, to be honest, because it's now that I'm actually living in his word and not just living in the world, if you understand. But yeah, so that's the first thing that I've really trying to prioritize, which is just like spending quality time with the Lord and getting to know him for myself, because you can't ride on your parents' faith forever. Like you actually have to choose for yourself. And it's I don't know, that's another topic for another day, but that is the first thing on my list, where you just have to have that relationship with God, period. Next one, my mom's gonna love this one. Your parents were absolutely right about everything. Almost everything, because guys, now that I'm getting older, I'm literally learning that, guys, no one has your best interest at heart more than God, and then your like your parents, number one. Like your mom, your dad, everything they tell you, it's for the better. Like it's for your benefit. Obviously as kids, like we sometimes, I don't know, we just don't see things the way they are, again because, you know, we're young and we're kids. But obviously now that I'm getting older, it's time to like take accountability of things, and I'm just learning that, oh my goodness, like everything was just to protect me. Although we do have to admit that sometimes their deliverance was, you know, a little bit questionable, but everything that they've ever said, it was always to protect me, it was always to better me. And now I'm glad I'm learning that at this age. So now obviously guys, I call my mom for everything, and I'm like, oh my gosh, lead me please, guide me, help me make wiser decisions, you know. So yes, so if you're still young, if you're still with your parents, listen to them. I know it sounds so crazy because we think we know the best because we're kids. We think, oh, I know what I want to do, I know what I need to do, I know the best things for myself. But guys, it's good to humble yourself and realize that actually I don't know it all, and I do need help, especially from your parents. Like obviously you can have some good friends and good mentors and good, you know, counsels around you, but I just feel like I've really reflected, and no one loves me more than my mom and dad on this earth, literally. And the sooner you understand that, the closer you guys will get and the better your life will be. So yeah. Okay, another valuable lesson that I've learned, a smart man learns from their mistake, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Do you want me to repeat that? A smart man learns from their mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Guys, one mistake that I did, I used to always say, and also I've really realized the power of our tongue, because I feel like, you can actually curse yourself. You know, it has power to bring life or death. And I think I've spoken death over myself a lot of time when I've been like, or you can tell me something, but I feel like I have to experience it for myself to fully understand. Like, yes, that is the case, but now I'm really learning some of that. Those experiences are just not necessary. Like, if you're wise, you can just learn just by listening to someone's mistake should be enough. Like, you don't actually have to endure so much pain and trauma for no reason. Like, just listen to what others have gone through and take that as a lesson and think, you know what, yeah, I know what it feels like. You don't actually have to experience everything. So now I literally was like, God, I don't want to say that anymore. Like, I don't need to experience it to not, you don't have to experience everything. Like, just be wise and learn from the mistakes of others. Like, that is a valuable lesson that I would give to like my younger siblings, or just especially young teenagers who haven't experienced much. It's not necessary. Life is not a group project. And then I added, you're not holding anyone back by doing things out of order, you know? So when you look at life as a life project, right? Of course, you have your age mates, everything that they're accomplishing, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, like I'm far behind. Guys, this is not a group project. It's actually not. Like, you're not holding anyone behind. As long as you're doing things to progress and you're doing things to move forward, all right? Like, I don't want you to think, okay, let me just be lazy and not achieve anything and not do anything. No, you actually have to consistently be working, but you have to understand that you're in competition with yourself. You're not competing with the world. You're not competing with your age mates. It's good to be inspired. I love to take inspiration from others, but comparison is a thief of joy. And guys, there's a season for everything. So just don't beat yourself up if you're not in a season that your friends have already reached, because I feel like you've also reached a stage that someone else hasn't reached. You know, so I think when you look at it as a solo project and it's like, okay, this is me, but I have a plan and I aim to be this far in the next year, just focusing on yourself, you will get so much further than comparing. And I think it slows you down when we start looking around us and thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have this, I don't have that. And then you end up not doing anything at all. So yeah. Okay, one thing I'm still learning is don't take everything personal. Yes, do not take things personal. Sometimes we tend to get in our head and deep things a little too much. Meanwhile, someone who probably done something to you was not deeping the impacts of how that's going to make you feel or whatever. So I'm genuinely learning. Like, in this life, if you take everything personal, I don't think, like, you're just never going to be happy. So I think it's wise to not take things personal, guys. Like, I used to be someone who would take things personal. If someone did something, I have to really understand, why did you do this? Or no, it's literally not necessary. Like, some things are not that deep. They did it because they can. Like, so I'm really understanding that, because if you take everything personal, you're gonna get offended, and you just, like, guys, you're not gonna have peace with yourself or with other people. But if you learn to, like, detach yourself from people's actions and think, you know what, I don't know where this is coming from, that's none of my business, I'm good, I'm happy, I'm whole, and learn not to, like, be so deeply impacted and affected by people's actions, you would live like a much peaceful life. Whereas if you're someone who's consistently like, oh, they did this because they hate me, they did this because of this, like, always only thinking about yourself, like, sometimes it's really not that serious. And that is something that I'm learning, to just give myself a peace of mind. I love this one. Hurt people hurt people. Are you listening? Hurt people hurt people. Guys, when I heard this quote, it actually made me sympathize with people who are brutal, who are rude and everything, because it's like, especially when it's unprovoked, you just look at them and you think, oh, you're hurting, right? Because hurt people hurt people. Genuinely, guys, when you're at peace, when you're happy, you have no reason to hurt people, you have no reason to hate on people, because you're truly content with yourself and you're happy. And so yeah, when I see people who are just, guys, carrying the worst energy I've ever felt, now, like, before that would have affected me, like, back into the whole, like, taking things personally. But when you realize that hurt people, like, it's because they're hurt, you start to look at them and you feel sorry for them, and you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, I feel bad for you, that is how you are, you know. And then you don't take it personal, and then you just keep it pushing. because hurt people hurt people. Guys, I'm loving these. All of these points have literally made my life so much easier. Ooh, this one's so your life right now is a reflection of every single choice that you've ever made. Your life is a reflection of every choice that you've ever made. The reason why you are where you are, the reason why you're in the house you're in, the clothes you're in, the jewelry, and it's because of choices. And that applies to bad circumstances as well. Everything you don't like about yourself, it could be your physical health. If you're not happy with what it looks like, you have to go back into the small choices that you make. Sometimes it could be choices we make every single day, or a choice that you made a long time ago. But everything that you own, everything that you are, is all made up of choices. But one thing I love about life, one thing I love about God, there's always a way out. And today, if you genuinely wanted better, if you're not happy with your job, if you're not happy with, guys, anything, you have a choice to get out of there. Like, you actually have a choice to, I wouldn't say reverse everything, but you have a choice to improve everything. If you're not happy, so if you're not happy with where you are or what you look like or whatever, you actually have a choice to make, because it was a choice that landed you here, and it's a choice that is going to take you out of there. I heard that little quote at church, guys. I was like, oh my goodness, that is so true. Especially because I hate like victim mentality and victim mindsets. And you know, when we're like, God, why me? Why am I in this situation? Why am I here? And then you realize, this is because of me. These are choices that I've made. These are things that I've brought upon myself. So when you start looking at life that way, you start to think, okay, well, what don't I like? What can I change? And then start working your way out of any scenario, any circumstance, any environment, anything that you don't like. Closed mouths don't get fed. Guys, I obviously, like, I was doing modeling, but now I'm doing more like social media work. I used to sit here and cry waiting for opportunities to find me, until I realized, guys, I could go out of my way and write those emails to the companies that I want to work with and just literally just see what happens. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no. Like, you will never know until you ask. And for me personally, that was a hard thing to learn, because I fear rejection. I think most of us do, but I hate rejection. So I would never put myself in a situation where there's a possibility of me being rejected. But the thing is, fear of rejection is just like lack of faith, because fear is believing that a bad outcome might happen, and faith is believing that a good outcome might happen. You know, we're hoping for good. So when I was doing, like, you know, with modeling and things, I would just be scared to like ask brands, because I don't know, I just hate asking. Like, I'm someone, I don't know if this is like a family thing, because I realized my little sister was the same, but we just hate asking, because I'm like, what if they say no? And sometimes we can almost always predict when the answer is going to be no. But guys, my mom is not like that. Like, you never know until you ask, and closed mouths don't get fed. So I literally went out of my comfort zone, and in seasons where it was quiet, I would reach out to brands and be like, listen, I want this opportunity. I think I'm capable. Can I have it? Sometimes the answer was yes. I don't know what it was in my head that used to tell me that, no, it's going to be a no, or they're not going to respond or whatever. So I just literally potentially missed out on some opportunities because I was too scared to ask. Don't even ask me what it was. I think it comes with age. Now that I'm older, obviously I'm more confident. Like, I do not care. Rejection is redirection. It doesn't matter. And that goes into my next point. Guys, embarrassment is a choice. So the reason why I feared rejection was because of embarrassment. But guys, who else is going to see this email if it's not me who's going to tell the world that, guys, I didn't get accepted into this? But it just stays there. No, nothing embarrassing about that. So when I learned that embarrassment is a choice, like, I'm literally choosing to be embarrassed. And certain things that would embarrass me would literally not embarrass the next person. I cared way too much. So now that I know that embarrassment is a choice, I'm never going to choose embarrassment. I'm really sorry. Like, and this mentality has helped me so much, and I feel like it's only going to be necessary when I reach new levels that I'm trying to reach. Like I'm just trying to elevate in my life, and I have so many plans and goals, but I can't get there with the mindset of, oh, I'm too embarrassed to hear the word no, I'm too embarrassed to ask, I'm too embarrassed, like, no. And I feel like it's not until you unlock certain levels, like mentally, like now that I've just learned that, I feel like God's gonna open more doors for me to exercise that now. And yes, another thing I'm learning is that no is not embarrassing, guys. Like, it's okay. No is not that serious. Like, rejection is redirection. Like, it's okay for things not to work out. It's okay for you to try to reach out and the answer is no. Sometimes that no means not now. We don't know. Even if it's never, just like be okay with it. Like, I'm speaking to myself when I say this, because I used to cringe so hard. Like, I used to be like, oh, so uncomfortable if the answer was no. But sometimes it's not that serious, guys. And I know I'm using this like with like my modeling. Like, there are times where there were brands that I messaged, a year later they came to me. It's just about timing. Like, now brands would reach out to me that I used to literally be in their DMs, and now they're the ones who are actually reaching out to me. Like, how amazing is that? But I'm just really learning that, like, embarrassment is a choice. Okay, never think that anyone is better than you, but also never think that you're better than anyone else. Okay, in this life, I think a reason why I consider myself, not consider myself, but I'm considered a confident person is because I don't think anyone is better than me. But I'm also humble enough to acknowledge that I'm not better than anyone. Like, I think the moment, especially I think like as a Christian, you should never idolize anybody. Guys, don't even idolize me. I'm just little old me, guys, like little old me. But let me not belittle myself, but do you understand, like, as a Christian, you should never look at anyone and think, oh my gosh, I wish I could be like them, I wish I could do, like, no, I'm so sorry, but there's no one in my life. And I always tell my sister this, I tell everyone this, even Beyonce, think of a celebrity that people tend to idolize. If you were to spend a week with her in the same house, I'm telling you, by day 3 you're gonna realize, oh, she's just like me, because we're all human. Like, there's literally, guys, it's a mental thing. We're all human. Like, there is nothing crazy. Like, the only person that I'm gonna be like, oh my God, is Jesus. Other than that, we're all the same. And I never want anyone to look at me and feel like I'm up here, guys. It's never that serious. Like, I'm just a human being, just like you are. I go through everything that you go through, and they go through everything that we go through. That's why there's not one celebrity or one person that I'm like, oh my God, like, I genuinely feel like I don't know, I don't know, but I just don't like to idolize people. I'm really sorry, especially people that I see on social media or things that I see on social media. Like, it's just not me. Like, I just never want to feel less than anybody, because I am not less than anybody, but I'm also not above anyone. Another thing I've learned, this one applies to friendships. I've learned that not everything needs to be addressed. That one was very tough for me to learn, because I wouldn't consider myself a confrontational person, but I'm also not a confrontational person. Like, I feel like if I have something on my chest, I'll just say it. But guys, this one was hard for me to learn, because I felt like I had to address everything that happens, every little thing. Someone does something, I have to let them know. I thought that was a healthy mindset, because I thought that in order to move forward, we have to address what we just dealt with, so that we can move forward without any secret animosity or anything. Because I know that people who don't speak up about their problems, they tend to let it build up and then resent you. And I said, yo, I never want to feel like, I don't want someone to sit there with everything that I've, that they feel like I've done wrong, and then one day just pack up and leave, which I actually have no issue with people doing. But it's like, I've definitely learned that maturity is realizing that if some things can be left unsaid, but the friendship can still progress and it's okay, then they should be left unsaid. Because if every time someone does something small, you keep addressing everything, I don't think you'll ever like last in any like friendship or anything, because we're gonna keep making little minor mistakes. If it's something that genuinely can be overlooked, I'm learning that, yeah, sometimes it's not that serious. Like, if it doesn't really affect you. Of course, if it's a big issue, if it's something that you can't rest, and you feel like, okay, this might repeat in the future, you have to address it. but I'm just learning. That's just something that I've learned for myself, that sometimes it's not worth it. Like if the situation is not that big, it's just not worth it. I'm not sure. Anyways, last thing that I've learned is that there are seasons for everything. Literally, there is a time for everything. So sometimes when I'm not in the best season, I have hope and have faith to know that, listen, this is temporary. Good is gonna come around the corner. But yeah, guys, those are just like a few things that I can remember off the top of my head. But I might have to make a part 2 because there's always room for improvement. There's always things to learn. So yeah, I really hope that you guys took at least one thing from this video, or anything that helped you. Let me know down in the comments below. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys learned something new. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.